I started Lugol's iodine 2% about a month ago. Congratulations. When I was taking the 2%, I was taking 50 drops a day. And now I take the same equivalent, but in 5% just so I can have more, you know. That's so amazing that you see in color now. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's not just some woo-woo thing. I said that this is why people don't understand how sharp Dr. Phil is, because he also has a degree in physiology and he's a medical scientist. And Dr. Phil is crazy sharp. But I told my hormone doctor and my doctors here, see, because this happened twice in my life. One time I saw in color after starting TRT, and I took my first testosterone shot, got a massive migraine. I opened my eyes an hour later, and I felt like I was seeing in high definition color for the first time. And didn't know what that was. I told my hormone doctors, they said they never heard anything like that. It didn't make sense, probably just whatever. They really didn't know. Yeah, I've told a few doctors about that. Now, the second time, because after that, I took TRT for about 5 or 6 weeks, and then I found out that you can become dependent on it. Your body will stop making its own testosterone. So I got off of it, and I was that at the time is when I was starting keto, and I'm like, I'm going to give keto a try and see if I can fix it naturally. So I didn't want to get stuck on not producing testosterone. That sounded like a terrible idea. So I stopped that, but then when I started taking iodine and I started taking it in high doses, I had the same effect. All of a sudden, it was like I was seeing in high definition color again. Because you don't realize it's not that I wasn't seeing in any color at all. It wasn't like I was seeing in complete black and white. But the colors get so dulled down over time, little by little, that you don't understand it. And then all of a sudden, when your eyes are functioning properly, it's shocking because it's like you're seeing the full spectrum of colors, and it's crazy. And you don't even realize you were losing it before. But colors are just so much better. But Phil, he didn't just sit there and go, "Oh, well, you're crazy. That doesn't make sense." Phil took it as a puzzle, and he's like, "Well, let's figure out why this is." And sure enough, he figured it out, and he even sent me the paper on it. And it was because I don't remember the chemical or the hormone that your thyroid makes, but long story short, the hormone or the chemical that your cones in your eyes need to produce color, to see in color, come from your thyroid, and it's come from a hormone or something that your thyroid produces. So if your thyroid is not functioning, it doesn't produce this certain chemical that your cones need in your eyes to see color. So the iodine was fixing my thyroid in a very dramatic way. So my thyroid started functioning and producing this chemical that in turn started giving the chemical to the cones in my eyes that it needed to see in color. And so, and Phil was, I thought that was just awesome that Phil went out to solve that little mystery and pretty much put a summary together of exactly what was happening. But he found the causal link between iodine, thyroid, and seeing in color when none of my other doctors knew. And Phil said he gave him an out. He goes, "Well, that's because they don't have a degree in physiology, you know." Right. But when you guys are in SBG, and Phil is a very humble dude, but that dude is sharp. So just so you guys know, he is one heck of a blessing to SBG. Should I use Lugol's, or does the brand? I think the brand matters for sure. I do. But I just trust Lugol's, and I use Lugol's because everybody else uses Lugol's, and Lugol's is in my local. I don't even have to order it. It's right here in my town at the health food store. So I just get it off the shelf. I have hyperthyroidism and take levodoxarin. I recently saw some video about taking iodine and some people having reversed their hyperthyroidism. Guess I need to jump on board. Definitely try it. Like, it's not going to hurt you. It's basically, I know that 50 milligrams is a crazy amount of iodine, but what Brownstein and Barry said is as long as your kidneys are good, if you take too much, you're just going to pee it out. So, unless you have a kidney issue. Now, if you start having negative responses to it, you can have some autoimmune system stuff like, I forget what it is, Hashimoto's and something else. And sometimes it'll react poorly if you have an underlying undiagnosed whatever, or if you have those things, and sometimes you can have a flare up. Some people say that that's also not true. I don't know what is true and what isn't, but I think it's an one thing, and I think that everybody should try it. It's my personal opinion because it's been the closest thing to a miracle pill for me. Lugol's is a solution that you should use. It's made by several companies. That's awesome. I use Carolyn from Amazon because it's less expensive than J. Crow's. Okay.
I've used them in the past too.
I started 3 weeks with a trainer and a restricted diet. I was seeing results, more mobility and strength, but then I started carnivore 6 weeks ago, and strength really picked up. It is so motivating. Absolutely, that's fantastic.
Yep.
I can't wait. Definitely keep us up on the progress, man. We want to hear more from you. Dr. Barry's wife, Nisha, stopped her level, but took a lot of time to heal that point. So interesting. Good luck. Absolutely. That's awesome. Yes, that's why men have more rods, which are night vision. Women have more cones. I got you. So, okay, so rods see in intensity of light, but cones see in color, if I'm getting that right. Yes, that's why men have more rods, which are night vision. Women have more cones. So women must see fantastic color. That's why you guys wear bright colors. That's interesting. It's probably why more men are colorblind. I bet so. Physiologically, it's why men have better depth perception, random things I learned in college. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have any clue. I just, all of a sudden, I would open my eyes after taking it, and it looked like I was looking through a kaleidoscope of color all of a sudden. It was actually shocking to see. And then, of course, it leveled out, and I was like, man, this is what I've been missing this whole time. The grass is green. Like, when did that happen? I thought it was a little bit ashy.
And not just on the other side of the fence, right, Todd?
Exactly. Hyperthyroidism is usually Hashimoto's. Okay. Takes 10 drops a day of glucose iodine, carnivore grandma. Yeah. I take 20 drops of 5% right now. Hey, Twinbrook, I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy all the things that heal up that we don't even know. And this is what I'm saying. I was talking about this in the chew today, but I think that ultimately carnivore is a animal-based elimination diet that everybody owes it to themselves to do very, 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 very strictly for like 6 months. And then start adding things in one at a time and start taking supplements one at a time. Do the priming, heal your body, nourish your body with meat. Do it for 6 months hardcore. And then if you have any questions on these things, your diet will be so cleaned out, you won't be an addict anymore. You can start trying things one at a time. And it's then that you'll actually get to see these amazing results, like seeing in color. I guarantee you that I could have taken iodine 3 years ago and I wouldn't have saw in color because my diet was a dumpster fire. Gut was
your whole system was a mess.
Yeah, like nothing was. It wasn't going to be the magic cure. But once you get it so leveled out that you can take things one at a time, then you can actually see if it has a negative or a positive effect on you, and then you can put it on the board. And like I found out pepper, I cannot do black pepper. Black pepper tries to kill me, so that's off the list forever. I found out any kind of nuts, completely not good for me. But found out fermented and pickled vegetables, pretty tolerable to me. So if they're tolerable, they don't hurt you, and they make your steak taste better, then I'll have pickled jalapenos on my steak from time to time. I found out I do a little bit better with vinegar and it doesn't hurt me, So now the carnivore purists will hate my guts for saying such blasphemous things, but it's like, that's the real beauty of this, is that you can be your own N=1 and you can clean up everything to the point that you can go test things one at a time yourself. And you'll actually know if it has a good, because I always thought this stuff was nutty. These people be like, try this vitamin, that stuff's awesome, this supplement, that powder, this blah, 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 blah. Dude, I never had crap feel like crap. Like nothing ever did a dang thing that I ever took. I was just like, this crap doesn't work. I thought it was all a bunch of nonsense and that nothing worked ever for anybody. Like, why do it? And I mean, I'd take it for months. Didn't feel a lick of difference, But when your gut is so screwed up and full of Coca-Cola and energy drinks,
seed
oils and red dyes and crap, your gut microbiome, your mouth microbiome is all messed up. Your hormones are all messed up. Like, what do we expect? You're just dumping this stuff and
it's going right through you.
Yeah, it's just into a toxic spill, and now we know. This is why they say that's just making you have expensive pee. Well, of course, if you go take all your vitamins and stuff or whatever, or this magic pill supplement, and then you go have Taco Bell where you go explode in the bathroom 45 minutes later, nothing absorbed, right? Your gut's not healthy enough. Like this idea that we were all healthy when we're, oh, it's healthy to poop 3 times a day. Like, really? I don't think so. It's not healthy. You're not even having it in there long enough to absorb anything. Eating meat and pooping every 3 days is healthy because your body's absorbing everything. This idea that you gotta, evacuate everything that you just ate. It's like I paid good money for that, and it's flying out of my rear end at a alarming rate of speed right now. Like, what good did that just do? I mean, it's silliness. What dose should I begin with since I've never taken iodine? So I'm just going to tell you what I did because I can't give advice on that stuff. I don't know you and I don't know the best, but I'm just going to tell you what I did. I took 6 milligrams at first, which was 6 drops of 2%. And then took that for a while. I didn't really notice any difference at all. Then I took 12 drops. I doubled it. I started feeling it a little bit, and that's when I heard Brownstein say you wanted to get to 50 milligrams. So then I doubled that for 3 days to 25 milligrams. That's when I started seeing in color, was when I got to 25 milligrams. And then I doubled that to 50 drops of 2%, which is also 20 drops of 5%. Same difference. And that's what I take now is the 50 drops, or the 50 milligrams, 20 drops of 5%, or 50 drops of 2%. That's what I did, and that's how I stepped it up. And I haven't had any bad side effects whatsoever, so I just keep doing it, and my body gets a lot of use out of it. Where are the calculators on the internet that help compute a dose? Would require a med degree to figure out. Yeah. So there's a Michael's probably finding it right now, I'm guessing. But
oh no, I was typing. But yeah, I'll go find it right now.
Yeah, there's a Lugol's chart that tells you how much each percentage of iodine is and how much a dose is out of the dropper. But I know I did this, and I know that 2% is 1 milligram per drop, and 2%, which I know sounds crazy that it's actually less than just cutting whatever, but it's 20 drops. So 20 drops is 50 milligrams. Or sorry, it's 2.5 milligrams per drop on the 5%, and it's 1 milligram per drop on the 2%, which, yeah, that actually calculates. Yeah, that's right. That calculates out perfectly. So anyhow, that is what I found, but there's a chart for Lugol's iodine that tells you that I found somewhere on the internet. Thyroid stuff is difficult. I had my numbers go up and down. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, hormones are super tricky for sure as well. For sure. But man, I just noticed that everything balances out every day and it just gets better. So I don't know. I just know that the healing seems to compound. And one of the things that I noticed on iodine was that the longer and the more consistently I do it, whether I'm working out, whether I'm not working out, whether I'm fasting, whether I'm priming, no matter what I see. I've been seeing consistent composition changes and definition changes in my lean tissue that have been kind of crazy, like just in sometimes in a week or two's time, I'll look down and I'm like, I just look different. I can't explain it, but I am crediting that to the beef and the iodine because that's the thing that I changed the most, and it's causing some serious composition changes right now. Does the iodine taste like iron or metal? I have a hard time with the taste. What does iodine taste like to me? It doesn't taste like iron at all because I hate that taste. It tastes like you're sucking on nickels. It doesn't taste like that. It doesn't taste like metal at all. No, it tastes
It's like iodine.
Yeah, I mean, it's got its own taste. It's so difficult. But what I do is I take these Topo Chicos, and when I get it about that full where my pinky is, I put the whole 20 drops in there. I swirl it around and I shoot it like a shot glass. And then before I breathe in or touch my tongue to the roof of my mouth, before I do either of those things, I take a big drink of Topo Chico clean and I shake it out and I swallow it down, and then 90% of the taste is gone by then. But no, it doesn't taste like metal. What really sucks is when I'm dry fasting. When I'm dry fasting, I put all 20 drops on my tongue, and that burns. That burns. That's no fun. But I don't want to drink the water, so I do it anyways because I will still want the iodine on the dry fasting days.